So long as the second major economic problem, fuller and efficient utilization of resources, is concerned, then it is also represented by the PP curve of a given economy. How already we have discussed that the concept of PP curve in fact is based on the assumption that there is fuller utilization of resources as well as there is efficient utilization of resources. Students, you will find that while moving from one alternative bundle of the two goods X and Y through the PP curve to another, then you will find that the quantity of one good keeps increasing while the quantity of another good keeps diminishing. That means there is negative relationship between the two goods, good X and good Y. That is why a PP curve is downward sloping from left to right. So the negative slope or the downward sloping PP curve itself is showing the efficient utilization of resources. Okay, students. So long as the growth of resources is concerned, it is also represented by the PP curve. How? By the rightward shift of PP curve. If the PP curve is shifting in rightward direction, that means it is showing increase in production of both the goods, good X as well as good Y. And it shows increase in productive capacity of that economy due to growth of resources. Thus, the rightward shift of PP curve shows growth of resources. Okay, students, any combination along the PP curve shows allocation of resources. All bundles or combinations of the PP curve show fuller and efficient utilization of resources, and a rightward shift of PP curve shows growth of resources. If there is any such a bundle that is beyond the PP curve, beyond the ambit of the PP curve, that means that is non-attainable, non-reachable combination or bundle, which cannot be produced in the economy with the available amount of resources as well as with the given technology. And suppose there is any such a bundle that is lying below the PP curve, then it is showing underutilization of resources. So students, till now we have seen that the three major economic problems like allocation of resources, number 1, fuller and efficient utilization of resources, number 2, and growth of resources, number 3. These three major economic problems are presented by the PP curve. So long as the central problems, what, how and for whom to produce, are concerned, they can also be presented through the PP curve. How? Let us see. Students, any bundle, any combination of both the goods, good X and Y, lying upon the PP curve is showing what? Showing the choice of the goods to be produced in the economy which are good X and good Y. So what to produce is clear, and in what quantity also is represented by this bundle, as it is showing how much of X is to be produced and how much of Y is to be produced in a particular choice of the bundle. So you can say that the central problem, what to produce and in what quantity, is represented by the PP curve. So long as the second central problem, how to produce, is concerned, it can also be presented by the PP curve by keeping the amount, the quantity of labor along X axis and the amount or quantity of capital along Y axis. If you make a choice of such a bundle which has more of capital and less of labor, then it is showing the choice of capital intensive technology, capital intensive method. If you make the choice of B, bundle B, in which there is more of labor and less of capital, then it is showing the choice of labor intensive method, labor intensive capital technology. Thus, the central problem how to produce here is being presented by the PP curve. Okay, students, so long as for whom to produce is concerned, it can also be presented by the PP curve. How? If you keep car along x-axis and bread along y-axis and make the choices of different bundles and combinations of the two goods, you will find that there is one such a bundle in which there is more of car and less of bread, that implies production for the rich. And there may be some bundles also in which there is more of bread and less of capital, which implies production for the poor. Therefore, students, the third central problem, how to produce, for whom to produce, can also be represented better way through the PP curve. Okay, students, along with this, the first introductory chapter that I had started few days ago, I have finished today, and the concerned questions of this chapter I will discuss in online class. Okay, so till now I would like to say thank you very much. Okay.